What's up, guys? I'll be like posting the daily Bible reading today. Later tonight. But before that, I just want to share something with you guys that happened. So today I went to work. I work at Notre Dame's student center for Chick-fil-A, and so as I was working, there was this there was this guy who goes to Bethel University. He was asking me what kind of car I drive, and I said a Kia Optima, and he kind of said in a joking way, saying like, "Oh, those cars would break easily." I said, "Well, I don't know. I don't understand too much about cars. I just know that my car company does not seem to have a good reputation, especially for I think a car that's called Kia Soul. I don't know if that's the type of car that it is that people give me a hard time about. But anyways, yeah, he was just jokingly saying, "Oh, your car's gonna break," and I said, "Oh, no, it's not." I mean, I didn't say it's not. I said, "I hope it's not gonna break." It never really happened to me, except for one time during the summer, but that was just that my tires just got inflated because I don't know what happened. But anyways, I was able to replace that tire in the summer and stuff. So after work, I drove home stuff. I usually go the same routes as always because like it gets me home faster. And I'm trying to think like, and so yeah, I would have like music playing as always. I mean, obviously not blasting because I would just distract my driving, but yeah, I was just like listening to music and stuff. And then all of a sudden, as I was turning from Angela to Ironwood and drove on Ironwood for like a few seconds, and then out of nowhere I just hear this big bang sound. I said, "Oh, that cannot be good." And so I turn on my flasher and pull over to the side of the road and to check on my car. And the thing is like I checked my tires first because I thought that's what's gonna be the problem. And so I checked my tires and everything feels fine. I say, "Oh, maybe it's just like one of those potholes that you go over a road that's in the road that sometimes you run into, but it didn't really affect your car too much." So I thought that was what's gonna happen, and so I got back in my car and drove for like a couple seconds. Then I started to feel like I'm losing control of the steering wheel. It's like I cannot seem to steer where I wanted to steer, and so I have to turn on my flasher again and pull over to the side of the road. And so then again I checked the tires on my right passenger side, and then I realized what happened. So apparently there was a pothole in the road out of nowhere. It was like because like I've gone over this route so many times, I didn't even know there was a pothole at where it happened and stuff. So I just checked my passenger side of the seats again, and then it was the front tire that got deflated. And I said, "Oh dear, oh my, that's not cool." And so I was like, I wasn't scared. I would think I was just irritated. It's like, why does this have to happen to me and stuff? And so I got back in my car, turned off my car, and just called my dad. And he was graciously enough to get out of his house to come and help me. And so when he was saying that he's gonna be on his way, we hang up, and then I called my mom to give her an update on what happened and stuff. And so she was trying to she was trying to help me to see if there's anything I could do and stuff. And obviously there wasn't, because this is the first time that something like that happened where I was like, I lost control of the car basically, almost. And so I just like called her, and then there was this car that was coming the opposite way. It was slowing down. So I thought, oh, that's my dad. So I just told my mom, like, my dad was here. And so I just hang up with her. Hang up on her. And then so as the car approached, it slowed down, and then it was yelling something at me, and I realized, wait, that's not my dad. And so I just stepped out of the car, and then the guy just asked like, do you need like a jump start the car, because he saw me like with my flasher on. And it's like, no, it was my tires went into a pothole that just caused it to inflate that like deflate one of my tires. He said, oh, and he apologizes and he just moves on and stuff. And so I waited for my dad for a little while, and then I started. I don't know if any of you guys were following my YouTube videos on the Book of Job. I've been like reading the Book of Job, and so one of the things that I really criticized Job for is when something bad happens to him, or like, I don't know how familiar you are with the Book of Job, but it seems like when something happened to him, he was like complaining to God. He's criticizing God for allowing these things happen to him. And so as I was like sitting in my car waiting for my dad to arrive, I start to like say like, why God, why did you let this happen? Why does this have to happen to me? And then it's like, and it's just out of nowhere, I just feel like God is like reminding me, it's like, David, are you listening to yourself? It's like, you literally criticize Job for complaining to me about bad things that happens to me. So, and then it's like right there, I realized like what I was doing is a hypocritical thing for me to do, because it's like, while I'm criticizing Job for what he's doing, I'm doing the same exact thing as him stuff. And then I realized like God does not deserve my complaints, because God deserves everyone's worship and praises. He deserves everybody's attention, but unfortunately in this world he does not have all the attention. In fact, he's getting a lot of things that he does not deserve, which is complaining people, angry people that hates him, criticizes him for things that happens in their life. And so for me, I just realized it's like, wow, I'm really falling into what the society has, which is like, when something bad happens to you, criticize God, complain to God about what happened. And so I realized like I need to stop doing that. And so obviously I apologize to God for complaining to him, because I know deep down that it's God did not allow, like God did not mean for this to happen, or like God didn't even do anything for this to happen and stuff. And I just realized like, where is Satan during this whole situation? I understand it's not like that big of a deal, but it's like at the same time, I think it's like it's a good practice for me to realize like, what if that's Satan who did that to me? It's like if I were to really going to complain, I should be complaining to Satan. It's like, why did he allow this to happen to me? It's like, why did he set this pothole in the middle of the road? It's like that I've gone over and over and over again for the past couple months. And so I realized, one of the things I realized is like, Satan is trying to test my faith and stuff. In a sense, it's like, where, again, there's the first time that my car, something like that happened to my car. So I was kind of shocked that happened. And so I felt like Satan's trying to test me to see how strong is my faith in things. And I was able to see that and show him like, Satan's like, something like that, yes, I prefer that not happening to me, but at the same time, for me, it's like, I'm not gonna bend to his temptation of complaining to God, like blaming God for the things that happened to me. And so it was just like a very kind of a, I don't know if sober is the right term to use, but I just feel like that small incident helped me to realize that I need to start do a better job of watching who I'm complaining to and stuff, and who I'm criticizing. And so yeah, after all that happened, my dad was able to come, and the things like, I really have to go to the restroom, so he actually allowed me to drive his car to a gas station to go to the restroom. And I feel a bit concerned about that, because I don't want to break his car too. But I was able to make it to the bathroom and back. And so he was actually able to help me with, I think the term is jacking up the car, so that my tires, so I could replace my deflated tires with a spare tire. And so as we were doing that, there was another car that seems to be having some trouble, because it was like we saw this car coming with its own flasher on. I was just like, wait, what's going on? And then so they drove in front of us and just like pull over to the side in front of us. And the driver got out and checked the same exact spot as where I checked my tires. I was like, oh no, that cannot be good. And so he checked it and just kind of kept driving. But the thing is, like, he was driving really slow, and he had his flasher on the whole time. And so I realized, it's like, I think God helped me to show like some sympathy towards him, because it literally just happened to me, and I know how terrible that feeling is. And I pray that that was not the case. I pray that his tires are okay. But it was like, yeah, I just feel bad for the guy. It's like I understand how it feels to all of a sudden something like that happens to your car and stuff. But yeah, my dad did make a great point. It's like, that helps me to see like the positive side to all this, which is good thing that it happened during night, where the car's not like, where the road is not busy, and that I'm not like stranded in anywhere in the middle of nowhere. And so yeah, that was a really positive thing. And this is something I share with him. It's like, even though in the midst of my unfortunate circumstances, I said that him being there for me and helping me out was the highlight. But then I said the second highlight was the guy who was like stopped by, like slowed down to ask if I need to jumpstart my car. I was just like so touched by his actions, because I did not expect anybody to stop by, like stop to ask if they could help me. I just thought, let me just wait for dad to arrive. But the fact that the guy just came and just like stopped and asked if he could help in any way, it just helps me realize like there are random people in the world that are good. I don't know, sometimes I feel like people out in the world sometimes are like very unaware of people who may be struggling on the sidewalk. And for me to see something like that, for me to witness a man who does not know me stop by saying, "Are you okay?" like asking if he could help jumpstart my car, I was like, okay, even though he couldn't help me, because I didn't have trouble with starting my car. It was the tires. It was just like, God helped me to see that not everyone is selfish or like seems to not care about what happens to other people and stuff. So I felt really blessed to be able to witness that. It's like, it kind of helped me to have like a softer heart towards random people that I meet on the streets and stuff. But yeah, I just want to share that with you guys, because it's like, yes, it sucks to have a deflated tires, but it's like at the same time, even something that's unfortunate that happens, is always something good that happens as well. And like that, what I said, like, the man who helped me, who asks me if I was okay and asked if he could help, then my dad coming to help and be able to talk to my mom about what happened stuff. But most importantly, it's like a moment that God says like, okay, it's like God helps me to realize what I'm doing, and it helps me to grow. I want to grow in my relationship with him, which means like I need to stop complaining to him. Like, not everything that's bad happened to me is because of him. Like, most of it is because of Satan. And so it was like very odd, I don't know, almost in a sense like a spiritual spiritual growth in the midst of this. So yeah, yeah, that's kind of what I wanted to share and stuff. But I hope you guys are feeling a little bit. I hope you guys were able to learn something, like learn a little bit of what happened in the midst of like my struggles. But yeah, now I just need to get the tire fixed. But yeah, that's the least of my problems. I think I'm more grateful for why it happened. I mean, I think I'm more grateful for the things that happened following the incident than trying to get a new tire, I guess. But yeah, like I said, I'll later today gonna post my video on today's reading. So yeah, that's kind of my life right now.